finished, right?
Yeah.
Next week, I'll be going to Ohio to celebrate and pay tribute to grandson number 3. As most of you know, I have 4 grandsons. Andrew, the oldest one, I mentioned previously, was #1 cadet from Boston University. He's presently a 2nd lieutenant, and he's a Ranger, Army Ranger, which is equivalent to a Navy SEAL. Grandson number 2, we celebrated last year. He graduated from Washington University with dual majors, one in information system and one in finance. And James did not disappoint. He's grandson number 3. James Gayton is a model citizen, a model student, and a diversified student. What do I mean by a model citizen? Well, he obeys the rules and obeys the laws, and he's never been in trouble as a result. When he comes into a room, he has a smile on his face like that, and as a result, he makes that room better. What do I mean that he's a model student? He does his homework, and he does it very well. It's indicated by his high school GPA. His high school GPA was 4.45. By diversification, what do I mean? Well, some of us play baseball, football, basketball, track. And if you make a varsity letter, you're proud. If you make 3 of them, you're even prouder. If you make all league or all city, that's even better. Well, James Extra, he plays music, and he plays 4 instruments. He plays the piano, the clarinet, the saxophone, and the bassoon. And he plays them very well. It's indicated by the fact that his senior year in high school, he made not all league, not all city, he made all state. He's a model student, he's a model citizen, and he's a diversified student. He applied to Ohio State University 4 years ago, and they were so impressed with his application, they gave him a scholarship. When the School of Engineering found out he's going to be in their department, they gave him a 2nd scholarship. In his first year, he got 1 B, straight A's except for 1. And he took 19 units his first year at university, which is suicidal. When you go to university, they take the bare minimum to get adjusted. His 2nd year, he did better. He took 5 engineering classes, straight A's, and in 4 of them, he was the #1 student. How many of us ever been #1 in a class at university? Especially in the sciences, not easy to do. And in 4 of the 5, he was the #1. His sophomore year, he was asked to do research in Antarctica with another group of top engineering students. At the end of this research, the instructor gathered all the data, going to go down to Arizona and make a presentation. And he picked 1 student to go with him, and that was James Douglas Gaetan. And then his junior year, he was again selected with a group of top engineering students. He's a civil engineer major. He was asked to go down to Ghana, a very poor country where there isn't enough drinking water. And he helped convert non-drinking water to drinking water. And now his senior year, he's doing research and applying to top schools in the country. Because within civil engineering, he's going to specialize in structural engineering. And that specialty requires a master's degree to be of any value. So like most of us do, we apply to top schools with only having a dream of getting to one of them, but then you apply to a dozen others. And hopefully you'll get into one of them. Well, of course, he applied to a top 3 in the country. Berkeley is #1 in civil engineering. Illinois, Champaign-Urbana is #2 in civil engineering, and Stanford is 3. Civil. I thought all 3 of them not only accepted him, but they gave him a scholarship. Not only did they give him a scholarship, they gave him a stipend for spending money. It blew my mind. I thought he might pick Illinois because it's close to Ohio, where the family is. Or I thought second he might go to Stanford, where my son has his MBA. Oops. But he chose Berkeley.
One more.
But he chose Berkeley. He just said he felt comfortable. When you pick a school, it's like picking a partner. Nobody can tell if the person's too old or too young or too short or too fat. When the chemistry hits, it hits. And that's the one you pick. And likewise for school. He just felt more comfortable in Berkeley. So he's getting a full scholarship and he's getting a stipend beside him. And I think I'm a very lucky guy because I have a wonderful son and a wonderful daughter who just get better all the time. That's my son at Stanford. At Stanford, it was lady friend and my lady friend. And that's my son and daughter in 2005 at the Coliseum. We beat UCLA 66-19. My daughter has always told me, she loves me. And she gets better as she gets older. Now she tells me why she loves me. I'm a good father, a good grandfather, a role model. And my son never said he loved me. He's been a chief financial officer. He's more objective. 3 years ago, he started saying, I love you, Dad. And he shows it in more than one way. He's got his 3,000 square foot condo filled with family members. So I said, Paul, get me a hotel. When I land there, I'll get a taxi, go to the hotel, and I'll pay you for the hotel. He said, no. I'm picking you up, and I'll pay for the hotel. And that's not the first time he's done that. So my children are getting better as they get older. They not only tell me they love me, but they tell me why. And James, this is James playing at the Navy Pier in Chicago. That's it. Back to James. So next week, at this point, I'm going to introduce James Douglas Gate, a model citizen, a model student, and a diversified student, Mr. Toastmaster.